morning, boomers. The voice of the blockchain here, Satoshi's big cousin, cryptography's finest. Champagne, the crypto commander-in-chief, your favorite YouTuber's favorite YouTuber, kaboomin'. Daily, every single weekday. Make sure you're touching, caressing the buttons, the like, the sub, the notification. I heard some of the boomers are getting those notifications via email, which is good news. Let's see how long that lasts. Today we're talking about Ether, EOS, Litecoin, and other altcoins. They made some small gains over the weekend. I want to talk about the move and see what you guys have to say about it. I got some information about how much people actually know about Bitcoin around the world. We have some statistics and some analysis of how long it takes to make some profit holding Bitcoin bags, according to an article that I came across. Shout out to Lucky Lewis. Let's get it popping indeed. Let me drop a bomb. Hope everybody had an excellent weekend. As Bitcoin continues to trade sideways, anything between 9 and 12 is what I'm expecting up until the new year, at least. Notification popped up on phone. Kaboom. Let me drop a bomb. Shout out to Martin. I just mentioned that right when you, before you came into the chat, that apparently some of the boomers are getting notifications, which is good news. Let's see how long that lasts. Shout out to Martin, Lucky Lewis, and the rest of the cup pumpers out there in the population of the chat box. Let me turn off these coins, share my display, and see how healthy the markets are looking. Check out today's math over there on CoinMarketCap. Bitcoin currently at 10,326. Like I said, trading sideways, but we did see some gains with these altcoins over the weekend. And I know I was DCAing. I'm holding baggage, and I'm trying to stay more Bitcoin dominant. And in fact, we saw the Bitcoin dominance decrease over the weekend. Shout out to Niagara. He says, got my ding ding notification. There you go. I got notification. Great. I just said this. It seems like everybody's getting notification these past week. So that's good news. Good news. Let me drop a bomb and a sniper. Why not? You know what it is, guys? YouTube trying to shake and bake. Now they're getting sued for apparently shadow banning now after the leaker, Mr. Voorhees. You guys may want to check out the leaker interview via SGT report. I mentioned it last week. This gentleman Voorhees, he leaked data and information on the algorithms that YouTube is using, or excuse me, Google is using. So, they own YouTube as well. They use these algorithms to shadow ban certain keywords. And he had the evidence. Apparently they sent the authorities to his house. And they drew the guns on him and everything, but luckily the boomer sent over the computer along with all the printed info directly to the Department of Justice. So if you want the whole story, Google it. Maybe you'll get censored, or check out the SGT report interview with Voorhees, the Google leaker, there on the tube. Shout out to Trap Talk TV. Niagara Gardner says, let's go Bitcoin. Picked up at 10,001, dip at 4 a.m. Kaboom to that. Shout out to my DCAers, my dip divers, those that take the shots at the dip. Boom! My snipers out there worldwide. Share my display here with you guys. Let's check out today's mathematics over there on CoinMarketCap. Let me hit refresh, make sure we're up to date. You saw the dominance decrease. At one point, we were over 70% last week. Now we've dipped back down to the 69% range. I'll expect this dominance to increase to about 75% sometime next year, maybe even more. Kaboom to Dolphin, 134, one of our crypto snipers out there. He shoots at the baby bear cubs all day long. Boom! Shout out to 134. He just dropped me 199 in the population of the chat box. Kaboom to 134. Thank you so much. Drop some fiat off the ceiling. CryptoZilla's here. He says, champ, last night a typhoon blew right through Tokyo. It was like riding a turbulent plane and shot the nerves pretty good. But back to throwing down funny bunnies today. I'm glad you're all right out there. Seems like the weather's been blowing hard around the world. That's what's going on. It's that time of season right now. I would say, most people are going to blame it on climate change or whatnot. I believe in HARP before I believe in well, let me stop right there. I mean, I believe that HARP maybe has something to do with it, but the climate's changing, but it always has. But I'm glad you're all right there, CryptoZilla. Shout out to Trap Talk. He says, yes, I see you out there, Trap Talk. Bitcoin currently at 10,333, down 1%, trading sideways over the weekend. Ether at 181, made small gains over the weekend, but I'm talking about the gains that some of these alts made against Bitcoin. Okay, and they're looking good. 181 over there on Ether. Ripple's garbage. Bitcoin Cash at 305. Bitcoin Cash now it seems to be superior to Litecoin these days. Certainly it is market cap wise. And I've been trying to DCA out of Litecoin. I think I'm a little too heavy on the light bag. I expected the baggage to hit closer to 200 in and around the halvening, but it fell short. And I was kind of caught holding some baggage there, a little bit more than I wanted, but it's okay. We've DC'd out over the weekend. You can see here Litecoin, it's up against Bitcoin over the weekend. It was down almost at 61, or it was about 61 at one point. Now you can see it is at 67.0067. And let me go back to the one-day chart here. I'm better on TradingView. I'll show you guys the Litecoin charts. Show you the 5-day, and you can see this was the weekend jump against Bitcoin. So it wasn't something too dramatic, but it was definitely worth taking a stab out. But will we see the price of Litecoin continuing to rise? Maybe, but I've been talking about getting out of Lite since it was at 0.01, and now you see it at 0.0067. So that's what it is. Mr. Bozak says, good to hear you're okay. My cousins out there said it was crazy. Yeah, I didn't hear about that typhoon that blew through Tokyo. I'm glad to hear the boomers are okay out there. Shout out to Rafterman, Bruno Ray. He says Monero. Yeah, indeed, Monero. Let me continue checking out the charts here. But yeah, Litecoin went up. So did Ether. EOS is booming today as well. At 388, Binance at $22, Satoshi Vision, we'll skip that, and then you got Monero steadily like a rock, hashtag Chevy over there holding the ground at number 10. Monero's not going to go away. Don't sleep on Monero, boomers. 5 reasons why Monero could be superior to Bitcoin. Check out the video link I have in the description. Cardano at 4 cents. I like to see Cardano moving up the ranks again, because I think Cardano hit number 12 or 13 at one point. Stellar at 5 cents. Tron at 1. Leo at 105. Huobi over there at 401. Huobi's like the baby Binance. Don't sleep on this one. Shout out to Main Event. Kaboom to the champ and all the maniacs. Shout out to Main Event. Bomb for you. CryptoZilla's talking about that typhoon. He says, yeah, it was a lot rougher than normal. The back end had the whistling, spinning winds that sound like you're here in the movies with a twister. Yeah, okay, so it was howling out there. There you go. I mean, I'm glad that you're all right. I didn't even know that that happened in Tokyo. I haven't been tuned into the weather on that side, but it's blowing. And I'm sure they're going to blame it on climate change, but my understanding is the climate's always been changing. So anyhow, shout out to Niagara, like a rock, indeed. Hashtag Chevy. Monero's like a rock. It's heavy and it's sturdy, and I'm here. I think it's here to stay, indeed. So there's few altcoins that I'm interested in. Monero being one, and then Ether. I think there's going to be life with Ether. Let's check out what some of these altcoins did over the weekend. So we saw this is the 5-day chart with Litecoin. So over the weekend, things started moving. It started moving. So, I have this Litecoin bag. So, I took about 10% of it. Every time I DCA, I do about 5 or 10%, let's say. And, I took some profits on that green back into bits. So it's basically buying more bits. Got that right, champ. The climate always changes. Yeah. That's, why it's funny that at one point it was global warming. Now it's no longer global warming. They call it climate change. But guys, the climate is always changing. I mean, it changes day to day. Just think about that. Anyhow, going back to the matter at hand here, Litecoin at 0.0067. So it's up. Now let's look at ETH. ETH is something that I wouldn't DCA out of. I'm going to keep. ETH is at 0.0175 Satoshi. I'm looking at things, guys, at BTC prices at this point. I think we have, crypto maniac savages that have been here in the box. There's a few newbies, but at this point, if you're in the trenches, it's not a necessity for us to look at things USD price. I think, we're in the advanced class now, okay? Carbon taxes will save us, I'm told. LOL. Yeah, that's what they're trying to do now. I saw some article out there in Sweden or Switzerland. They're trying to say that eat dead people is better than eating meat. It's out of control at this point. If you're believing any of the headlines, the joke's on you, indeed. I think it was in Switzerland or Sweden. I don't know if it was fake news or not, but I'm you know, I want nothing to do with it. So I'm not showing you the chart. There you go. Here's the 5-day on Ether. 5-day on Ether's up at 0.0175, looking good. Okay. And then EOS is one that I DCA'd out of as well. EOS is up 2.99% against Bitcoin. Against a dollar, it's up about 8. And looking nice on the 5-day. So, I mean, you know, when I see a little pump on some of the altcoins that I still have there, you know, I'll move them over to Bitcoin. I'm not going to move all of them, you know, but I felt that it's better to have a more Bitcoin dominant portfolio. And, you know, I usually say around 50%, and, you know, I'm gunning more for about 70%, let's say. BTC is the rock, says Rafterman. Kaboom. He just dropped me $2 in the population of the chat box. Thank you, Rafterman. I appreciate that. $2. Shout out to Rafterman and shout out to Dolphin134 for the gratuity today. Guys, follow the leaders. Drop a couple ducats here in the bucket. They all go to support the boomers, the young gunners here, the boomer and the boomette that are getting stronger by the day. My girl lives in Tokyo, says Lucky. She sent me pictures of broken windows in her house. Stay safe over there. So, yeah, I'm getting this news here in the population of the chat box that a typhoon blew over Tokyo last night or yesterday, and apparently it blew hard. And I'm glad that CryptoZilla, one of our snipers out there, is okay. And he's still reporting, and he's still gunning on the chart. So, you know, it's okay out there. I'm glad you're all right. I got Tokyo under fire, the Bahamas under fire. There's always a storm brewing somewhere. So make sure you hunker down. You have the supplies. You guys know the deal. It blew all right, says CryptoZilla. Yeah. Shout out to Zilla out there. EOS is up there. 0.00037 Satoshis. And this was the bigger performing. Guys, what's going on with EOS? What's going on with, is there a future with EOS? Because listen, this thing is capable. I like EOS a lot, you know, and I know that it's, you know, as far as its capacity, it can handle a lot more than Ether at the moment. But it seems like at one point the dApps moved over to EOS, and most of the dApps on the market were dominated by the EOS blockchain. But it seems like there's more development going on Ether right now. I'm telling you, Ether with this DeFi, you know what it is probably, okay? And I'll tell you this much: the 21 block producers on EOS are majority Chinese, and you know, I don't know about that. What's up with that? You know, is this a Chinese blockchain or what's going on? If the Western companies, are they comfortable with that, or do they want a more decentralized blockchain like Ethereum? You know, that may put people off. It's foreign block producers. They don't know, and they could be colluding. And again, I don't have any evidence to prove this, but you know, I'm trying to think in that position of, are you going to build your whole company and then your transactions could be reversed? The blockchain's not completely immutable, is what I'm saying here. I think they hope the STEEM type folks would move to voice, but it doesn't look like they have. No, I don't think so. I mean, you know, that whole event with EOS and you know, the voice reveal over there in DC, I think it was too much hype and too much bark, too little bite. Basically, too much bark, too little bite. Too hyped. Yeah, I think it was too much bark, too little bite. And you know, I kind of fell for the bark as well. You know, I mean, I had the bag. I'm not gonna get rid of all of it. I see the pluses there. You know, I think that there's a lot of potential. There's some cool dApps. And you know, I like these Larimer chains. I like BitShares. I like STEEM and EOS, but unfortunately, you know, they're not performing as much as we would like them to. But anyhow, since it's up, which is good news, I took that opportunity to move it over to Bitcoin. You know, at this point, it's more bits, and more kabooms worldwide. Let me know of the altcoins that you guys are interested in right now. I told you guys the ones that I'm more confident in are Ether and Monero at this moment. I still got EOS. I still got Litecoin. I didn't dump all the bags, but you know, I shaved some off the top and moved it over to BTC. I saw the science news about eating humans. You see, I'm not making this up, guys. Zilla's confirming. He says, just when you think it can't get more weird, there are too many sophisticated morons out there. Maybe they have been doing it already. Have Kuru disease. Listen, guys, at this point, if you haven't figured out that they're out to switch everything on you and make the world upside down, and you know, it's an evil plot, if you know, for lack of a better term. I know it sounds cliche, but at this point, guys, it's, you know, if you don't believe it now, they're talking about eating people, guys. Come on. So you know, at this point, turn it off and pray to the Lord, because at the end of the day, that's the only thing that's going to save you guys out there. Shout out to Zilla, Main Event, Bleed Heart Infection, and the rest of the boomers, Lucky Lewis, taking these small gains, these altcoin gains, moving over to Bitcoin. Let's talk about how Bitcoin's looking. I got a couple articles I came across here. How much do people actually know about Bitcoin in the world? Last week, I showed you an infographic comparing cryptocurrency market to the rest of the money markets in the world. It was a visual graphic. It shows you the size, and it's so small compared to like the gold market or the real estate market. And in this article, I'm not going to read it to you, but it talks about how much people know. It gives you a little bit of the rundown of the knowledge about Bitcoin around the world in countries like Spain, Portugal, Singapore, Indonesia, and others. But, you know, once you read through it, it talks about Portugal, that there's tax-free in Portugal, which is sexy. But here at the ending was something that really caught my attention, a statistic that I wanted to share with you, boomers. Let me see if I find it. There you go. But with only 34 million Bitcoin wallets and roughly 50 million users worldwide, that's less than 1% of the population using Bitcoin. Okay, so think about that number and think about how much gains the crypto and how much gains Bitcoin has made already. And that's just with 1% of the population. So imagine that we could just double this to 2%, to 3% of the population. There's only 34 million Bitcoin wallets and roughly 50 million users. That's not that much, guys. I tell you, there's YouTube pages that have more views than this. So think about that. So think about that. 34 million Bitcoin wallets, roughly 50 million users worldwide. I'm excited by that statistic, which leads me to believe that there's a lot more room to grow. So for anybody telling you that this thing can't pump to maybe $50,000, $100,000, you know, I would show them that number. There's only 34 million Bitcoin wallets right now, roughly 50 million users using Bitcoin worldwide, and the price is already above 10,000 when it was pennies in the dollars just a few years ago. Let's check out this analysis over here on Cointelegraph.com. Everything is linked down below if you guys want to read it in its entirety. New analysis: every Bitcoin holder makes a profit after 1,335 days. Again, every Bitcoin holder makes a profit after 1,335 days, excuse me. A little dyslexic there, right? According to new analysis presented September 8th, the amount of time it is necessary to have held Bitcoin to make a profit is 1,335 days, or roughly 3 years and 8 months. This roughly correlates to the 4-year cycle length based on reward halving periods. Okay, on the reward halving periods, and let me remind you, there's one coming up in May, boomers. Don't sleep on the halving. Profit from Bitcoin's largely a waiting game. And you could see here that there was another statistic. While a 100% sure profit would have taken a maximum of 1,335 days, this relates to the bull run in late 2013 when Bitcoin price surged to 1150 to 1,150. If you had bought right at the top, then it took 1,335 days before Bitcoin finally drove back to that level in early 2017. So if you don't remember, there in 2013, the Bitcoin price surged to 1150, and then it crashed back down to, I think, back to like 200 or 100. Maybe someone, or maybe even 70. I don't know the number, but I know it was a dramatic crash. So if you bought at that top, it would have took 1,335 days to make back a profit, but you still would have kapumped. So here's more positive, crypto-friendly news, guys, to make you feel good about that Bitcoin in the wallet that's sizzling there, preheating in the oven. I expect a kapump at minimum to 20K. Okay, to the all-time high. And let's say it falls short and it hits 15, 16. That still makes some gains in just a few months, is my opinion. Again, I'm not anybody's crypto daddy, nor I'm not your crypto advisor or anything like that. I'm just a crypto maniac here with CryptoZilla, weathering these crypto typhoons. But if you ask a boomer such as myself about these numbers here, only 34 million Bitcoin wallets, roughly 50 million users worldwide, and this happening right around the corner, it smells like a kapump. Boomers, drop a comment here in the population of the chat box. We got 17 crypto maniacs watching, and I'll expect 17 more times 2 or 3 once we approach this happening in May. Off topic, but wackos are out there big time. Yeah, they're out there. They've always been out there. But in the meantime and in between time, we'll be one of these 34 million, just 1% of the pot. We are 1%ers here. At the bottom line here, when you want to talk about the 1%, we are the crypto 1%. At this moment, just stay on the crypto train. Guys, you got to really ask yourself, is this thing going to go away? Is crypto going to go away? That's like thinking the internet was going to go away back in the 90s. Shout out to Castro. I see you, Serge. Trace Mayer was saying that his gains in Bitcoin makes Buffett's gains in the same time look like a joke. Of course. I mean, that's look at these gains. I mean, pennies on the dollar just a few years ago, and now it's over $10,000. So, I mean, it's way more than 10,000x, guys. Shout out to Rafterman. Liked. Appreciate you, Rafterman. Shout out to the boomers. Everybody showing gratuity there in the super chat, sending over the Brave tips. Go ahead and download the Brave browser. I say it on all my live streams. An easy browser that blocks ads and allows you to earn BAT tokens by clicking on ads if you choose. And real easy to install, and you don't have to put any personal information, which I like. As I'll take a few more comments and questions before I get out of here. Land the crypto plane out here directly on the tarmac. We skipped the runway. You know the deal. Shout out to my crypto licensed drivers. I'm taking profits here on EOS and Litecoin. Ethereum holding still. I'm kind of dancing and prancing with Ether. I don't want to get rid of it. I'm going to be 1,000 with you guys. I don't want to get rid of the ETH, but I can see myself, but I can't seem to come around to getting more ETH and stacking that 32, although I feel like it's kind of worth it. But my dilemma, and I think this is the dilemma with a lot of people out there, is that it's almost a sure thing that Bitcoin is going to make some gains from here to May. And it's not a sure thing for Ether, although I think that, the 1 or 2 year outlook for Ether is okay. I think DeFi is going to be a big thing, sometime next year. First the halving is going to occur, and then once that settles down and Bitcoin finds its new price, whatever that's going to be, I think that maybe that'll be the time maybe to start stacking the ETH. Hopefully it's not too late. Let me know what you think about ETH out there. Here's the EOS charts, and then I'll show you guys the ETH charts. Looks like there's a lot of green against Bitcoin. Even BitShares is up too. And even STEEM is up. Shout out to Main Event. I see you out there. You see the ETH chart. ETH making some gains over the weekend. Again, I'm going to hold that. And then finally Litecoin, which made a similar movement. And these are not the only alts. I mean, you see other ones as well, but those specific blue chippers are the ones that I'm focused on right now. Where's my Litecoin chart? There it is. You see Litecoin finally dipping in the red, but also making a similar movement over the weekend, making those gains as well. And I'm glad that, I shaved off the top again. I'm not going to dump all the bags, but you got to move it to Bitcoin at this point. You know how I feel. Guys, I'll take a few more comments and questions. I'm out of here if there isn't. Again, make sure you're touching all the buttons and hitting the notifications. As you can see here in the population of the chat box, people are actually getting notified. I like that. I like that. That's good news. I'm happy about that. Let's see how long that lasts. Again, download the Brave browser. And for you guys experiencing storms out there, I recommend getting a Berkey water filter. I'll tell you that much. And I have an Amazon link. Yes, it's a referral link, but it's going to cost you the same. You can get it on Amazon. It's somewhere around $300, a little more than $300. But the good thing about that Berkey is that it filters out the fluoride so that you don't calcify your pineal gland. And on top of that, it's a camping and disaster supply because you could filter non-potable water, including lake water. So if, the lights get cut off out there and the water's not good, you don't have to scramble to buy jugs of water. You can go ahead and just filter any water through that Berkey. I know this is off topic, but it's still on topic because we're always focused on alternative frequencies. Shout out to Zilla. He says, right now, Ethereum has a lot of competitors using the same similar copies of ETH, so just staking isn't going to make it boom, in my opinion. There you go. Okay. So, not everybody's an Ether believer, and I understand. There's something I feel like, they're still there and they're a first mover. There's a lot of copies of Bitcoin and Bitcoin's still the king. So, think about that. Any software system needs to come up with something that makes it the choice over all others. ETH needs to make people want to only use them for some reason. Yeah, that's true. And the problem is with crypto, and this is not just with ETH, I think they haven't found that killer dApp that the masses want to use just yet. And it'll be here sooner than later, and perhaps it'll be found in a decentralized finance. I don't know. On that note, guys, I'm going to go ahead and tune down the broadcast. Make sure you hit the buttons and tune in with me tomorrow. I'll be here tomorrow every single day, guys. I'm here late mornings, early afternoon. So stay tuned into the good crypto word. You mean Crypto Kitties wasn't that dApp? No, it wasn't. And Raptorman says, where's Rev? Rev popped up last week. He popped up for a moment there last week. I saw him. So, it's been quiet for Rev, one of our Cardano generals, but he popped up. He's still around. So shout out to Rev if he's tuning in. Guys, on that note, I'm out of here, guys. Thanks for the gratuity out there, Dolphin and Rafterman and the rest of the boomers. I appreciate all you maniacs. I'll see you guys tomorrow. It's the voice of the blockchain here, Satoshi's biggest cousin, cryptography's finest. Crypto, thanks for tuning